the occasion. I would like to request Ms. Vidika to begin the ceremony.
कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
Tasneem ma'am, you are on mute, Tasneem ma'am.
Thank you, Hina ma'am. On this auspicious note, I once again extend a warm welcome to everyone present here, our esteemed guest, our beloved Principal Dr. Shanila Joy Chauhan, teachers, parents, and our dear students. I take this opportunity to thank our trustee, Mrs. Karishma Mangal, who is a constant driving force in all our endeavors. I would also like to bring forth the vision of our chairman, Mr. V.K. Singh, and trustee Mrs. Varsha Singh, which has always been to encourage students to walk ahead bravely and become tomorrow's torchbearers. Now, I would like to invite Joy ma'am, our principal, to address the gathering.
A warm welcome to our chief guest, Major General Vikram Dogra, our parents, students, and staff. Getting appointed as a member of the Student Council is a huge opportunity and recognition. The school authorities vest in its Student Council certain authority, trust, and responsibility. Members of the Council are called upon to shoulder the responsibility of some areas in a school's functioning in a fair and equitable manner. This calls for commitment and empowerment to responsible behavior and the ability to represent the student's voice. Due to the COVID-19 situation, this council will need to work out some new initiatives which can be implemented virtually for this academic year. Some advice for the newly elected council members. Conviction, integrity, and compassion are the keys to your success. Your power and authority will be strengthened by your responsible behavior and the examples that you set. In a position of responsibility, you undoubtedly lose a bit of your own freedom and are scrutinized more than before. You will need to strike a balance between your additional responsibilities and your other activities and sports. This in turn will further mold your leadership qualities. On this note, I would like to thank the outgoing Student Council for their support and hard work in the last academic year. We are looking forward to working with now the newly elected Student Council body. I'm sure you will live up to everyone's expectations and make our school proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you for those words of wisdom, Joy ma'am. I would now like to welcome someone very special amongst us today, someone with an illustrious and noteworthy career record that is inspiring and encouraging and makes us extremely proud to have him with us today, our esteemed chief guest, Major General Vikram Dev Dogra.
Thank you so much for the welcome.
Major General Vikram Dev Dogra was commissioned into the Pune Horse, an armored regiment, in December 1981 from the Indian Military Academy, where he was awarded the Sword of Honor for being the best all-round cadet and the gold medal for passing out first in the Order of Merit. He commanded the Pune Horse 180 Armored Brigade on the Western Front and 22 Infantry Division part of a strike call. He served as a United Nations military observer in the UN peacekeeping forces in Angola, Africa. He's a keen sportsman and a fitness enthusiast and has participated in a number of cycling events. He has cycled from Leh to Chandigarh over 5 of the highest mountain passes, ranging from 13,400 feet to 17,600 feet. On 1st July 2018, he completed Ironman Austria, the most grueling one-day endurance event in the world, comprising 3.8 kilometers swimming, 180 kilometers of cycling, and 42.2 kilometers running at the age of 58 in 14 hours and 21 minutes to become the first serving Indian Army officer and the only general in the world to do so. On 28 July 2019, he took on the Ironman challenge at Germany and bettered his own time by 41 minutes, completing the arduous race in 13 hours and 40 minutes only. He was awarded the Ati Vishishta Seva Medal by the President of India in 2019 for distinguished service of an exceptional order. A huge round of applause for Major General Vikram Dev Dogra.
Thank you so much.
We are in awe of your merits, sir. I would like to request you to share a few words of motivation with our students today.
Thank you, Tanseem. Firstly, you have made me sound much bigger than I am. Principal Joy, teachers, parents, and students. It's indeed my privilege to be here today and talk to you about something which is really, really close to my heart. And that is 5 simple steps on how each one of you can follow your dreams. When I meet people, socially and otherwise, I talk to them about their dreams. And I am disappointed when lots of people tell me that they don't have a dream. And many others tell me that they did have a dream, but somewhere down the line, they gave up their dream. First and foremost, I want to tell each one of you here that you must have a dream. And let me explain to you what a dream is. A dream, like our erstwhile president said, is not something that you see when you sleep at night. No. A dream is something that doesn't let you sleep. It's something that you want badly. And I'm sure each one of you wants something special, something that they look forward to doing, to becoming, to following. And therefore, you must have a dream and dreams come true. And today I will talk to you about how you can pursue your dream and make it come a reality. Now, before I proceed, I want to share my screen. So give me a moment. I will present my screen to you. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
So I'm going to talk to you about the power of perseverance and how perseverance, which means hard work, is the key to getting your dream. The first thing that you must do when you have a dream is you must make a clear mental picture of what your dream is. So make that picture in your mind and then note it down in your diary. And if you have anybody who's your idol, somebody whom you want to be like when you become, when you grow up, or somebody whom you idolize otherwise, paste their picture also in that diary. And every day you need to read what your dream is and you need to look at your picture. And how does this work? Let me explain it to you with an example. When you and your family go to buy a car, you sit down and you do a market survey, you look at different models, you look at that laundry list of cars which are available, and then you decide, this is the car I want to buy. And your family or you go and buy that car. Thereafter, what happens? When you start moving around in that car, you suddenly find that there are so many more cars of the same model on the road. And you wonder whether every person, the second person that you meet or see has purchased the same model. But that's not true. What has happened is those cars were always there on the road. But now that you have bought that car and that car has come to the forefront in your mind, you are noticing the other cars on the road. In the same manner, when you look at your dream every day, your mind and body subconsciously starts working to getting you closer to your dream. Having done that, like I said, your dream is something that doesn't let you sleep. So it's something which is really, really big. And because it is big, it will not come overnight. It can't happen tomorrow. Therefore, there is a finite period through which you will have to work towards your dream. And because it is a long journey, you need to divide that dream into smaller goals. So you make your dream into smaller goals and give them a timeline. And I'll explain how you can do this. How many of you out here can sketch Shah Rukh Khan the way if he is sketched out here, if I were to give you just a paper and a pencil? Now, I don't want your answer, but I'm sure 99% of you will say, we can't do it. We are not artists. Yes, you're right. Unless you're an artist, you can't draw Shah Rukh Khan like this. But what if I was to tell you that a minute later, after I have explained how you can draw Shah Rukh Khan by dividing your dream into smaller goals, you can also draw Shah Rukh Khan? You won't believe me, but let's go ahead. Now, how many of you sitting here can actually draw this one gray square using a paper and a pencil? And I'm confident 100% of you are going to raise their hand because it's just one simple gray square. You can draw one square, you can draw two, you can draw 10, you can draw 20 gray squares. And you keep drawing gray squares and putting them together. Square after square, square after square, till you have drawn all the gray squares that constitute Shah Rukh Khan's picture. So if this large picture of Shah Rukh Khan is treated like your big dream, this is the dream that you have. And each of these small squares is the goal that I spoke of. You divide your dream into smaller goals. So each of these squares is that goal, and you give it a timeline. For example, I will draw one gray square every hour, or I will draw one gray square every day. This timeline that you give to it will depend upon how much time you have available to pursue your dream. So if your dream is to top your school, to top your class, to top your university, to get a fancy job which you always wanted to, all these are dreams. Then the journey to that needs to be divided into smaller goals, and you will give it timelines based on how much time, how much energy you can spend to getting there. And it's not restricted only to your academics. Your dream, like I said, could be anything, whether you want to be a sports person, whether you want to be a singer, you want to be an actor, whatever, the sky is the limit. Having now taken the second point, you need to exert some positive pressure on yourself. Now, what is positive pressure? Positive pressure is pressure which is generated from outside, which gives positivity to you to follow your dream. I'll give you an example. If you have a group of friends, all of who are pursuing their dreams, then the energy and the positivity generated in that group will also propel you towards pursuing your dream. You will get motivated by their actions. They are following their dreams. They are spending time out there. Their energy and positivity is exhibited, and you can feel it, and you also want to follow your dream. So this is one kind of positive pressure. There is another kind of positive pressure which I used when I share my dream. I will explain that to you, and we'll talk about that later. But if you are in a group of friends who don't have any dreams, who are just carefree and taking each day as it comes, then there is no positive pressure being generated on you to follow your dreams. So you must generate positive pressure. Now, in this long journey to your dream, there will be many things that you will have to do which are not easy, which you are not used to doing, which are outside your comfort zone. And therefore, for those of you who find it difficult to do things to reach your dream, I want to suggest the 21-day rule. The 21-day rule says that if you undertake any activity consecutively for 21 days, it becomes a habit. So for people who say, I can't wake up in the morning, I'm not a morning person, try doing it consecutively for 21 days. And I assure you, on the 22nd day, your body and mind will want to wake up early. Similarly, you can apply this 21-day rule in any activity which you are not fond of doing or which you find difficulty doing. And the last, but not the least, the last point I want to share is that follow your dream, dream big, but be prepared to fail. And this is very important because all dreams don't come true. And therefore, if you are not prepared to fail, then when you fail, you will end up giving up your dream because you will be so upset by the setback. So be prepared to fail. And if you fail, what do you do? What do? You take one step back. You know that one of the outcomes could have been that you failed and it has happened now. You step back and you introspect. You see the path you took. You try and find out what is it that you did not do good enough, or what is it that you did not prepare enough, or how is it, what went wrong. And then keep the same dream and take a different path now with better preparation and go for your dream. Having said that, I want to share with you that I also had a dream, and my dream was to do the Ironman, which was explained by your teacher, that the Ironman is the most difficult one-day endurance event in the world, where you need to swim 3.8 kilometers, you need to cycle 180 kilometers, you need to run 42.2 kilometers, and all to be done one after the other and completed within 70 hours. And what made it tougher for me was my age, where anybody and everybody whom I spoke to that I want to do the Ironman, they discouraged me. Now, just to give you a small sample of what the Ironman is about, I will show you a clip of about 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes, where you can see the Ironman event, and thereafter we'll see the lessons that you need to take from what I'm trying to tell you today. I hope the audio is clear.
Yes, it is, sir.
Thank you.
To accomplish something extraordinary, one must have an extraordinary dream. A goal so high, a journey so demanding, that its achievement to most seems impossible. The best. You can be the King Kong banging on your chest. For 35 years, Ironman has defined the sport, growing from a single race into a global movement and a new generation of athletes. And the world's gonna know your name. 'Cause we're 25 countries with over 200 events. Ironman inspires us to reimagine our limits, to set our sights higher, to go farther than we ever have before. You can run a mile, you can walk straight through hell with a smile. You can be the hero, you can get the goals. Breaking all the records that can never be broke. Yeah, do it for your people, do it for your pride. You're never gonna know if you never even try. Do it for your country, do it for your name. 'Cause there's gonna be a day. Ironman is a statement of excellence, passion, commitment. It is a test of physical toughness and mental strength. Ironman is about persevering, enduring, and being a part of something larger than ourselves. It shows the heights that can be achieved when we push beyond our boundaries and go the distance to earn the title Ironman.
So what you're going to see now is the actual race on 1st July 2018, Austria. The swim starts with 2,850 athletes from 60 countries starting together. And you do your 3.8 kilometer swim, You finish, get onto your cycle, do 180 kilometers of cycling. Austrian terrain is undulating. We gained about 6,000 feet of elevation in this 180 kilometers. And you can see these are real shots of the event. You touching speeds of up to 70 kilometers an hour coming downhill. That's the kind of terrain it was. You finish your cycling, change, and you're on your run now, the last 42.2 kilometers, right through the town of Klagenfurt. And once you are done with your run, you're on the red carpet. Now, why I shared this video with you is that I want to tell you that anything is possible, and that anything is possible only if you believe in yourself and you persevere. So I will now quickly share some lessons which you need to take away. Firstly, positive pressure. I told you one technique if you have a group of friends. The second technique, or the technique which I used, is public pledging. When I wanted to do the Ironman, I knew that there may be times when I want to quit, and I want to quit because the training was so tough, it was so grueling. So I didn't want to leave any window open for me to quit. So I did public pledging. And what is public pledging? I went onto social media and I announced I'm going to do Ironman. I told my friends, I told my family. And when I told people, some of them laughed, some of them smirked. But to make sure that that smirk did not also turn into a laugh and they didn't ridicule me, I was then pressurized not to quit. And I didn't quit. In fact, on the day of the event, I told my wife, I'll die doing the event, but I will not quit. So that is what public pledging can help. Try it out for those who feel that there are events where you might want to quit. Comfort zone. You have to move out of your comfort zone. Your comfort zone today would be going to school, getting back, your studies, your friends, your social media, your television, and so on and so forth. If you are going to do something big, you will have to leave your comfort zone and move out. I was out of my comfort zone. I used to come back from my work and run from 7 at night to 10 o'clock at night. That was out of my comfort zone. Third, commitment. Having decided that you are going to follow a dream, you have to commit yourself 100%. And what do I mean by commitment? You will need to give it your time, your energy, your money. There will be sacrifices to be made. So commitment is essential. And now perseverance. I told you the power of perseverance. And perseverance is hard work. And if you are chasing any dream, any goal, 70 to 80% of the outcome will depend upon how hard you work for it, how much of effort you put in. 20 to 30% of the outcome depends upon good luck. Now that luck, whether it's with you or it's not with you, is not in your control. So you forget about that 20 to 30%. But what you can control is your hard work. And let me assure you, when you have hard work, and you have to also remember to be patient, because you will start putting in effort, you will start studying harder, or whatever is your dream, you will start working on that harder, but results will not come overnight. So you need to be patient. You need to wait and see and tell yourself that, yes, I'm working, the results will show. Time management, most important aspect. For a guy like me, I was working on a job. I used to go to work at 8 in the morning, get back home at 6 in the evening, 10 hours of the day gone. Leaving those 10 hours, I had 14 hours more in which I had to sleep, eat, and train, and do everything else. If you take away 7 to 8 hours of sleep, you are left with about 6 hours. To give you an idea, to swim 3.8 kilometers, it takes between 1 to 2 hours. To run 42 kilometers takes between 4 to 5 hours. And to cycle 180 kilometers takes between 6 to 7 hours. So you have to carve out this time from whatever is left. And therefore, there will be sacrifices to be made. To make this time for what you want to do, you will have to sacrifice it elsewhere. Discipline. And this is not the discipline that you are put through in school, that come in time, wear the correct dress, sit properly. No, I'm talking of self-discipline. What is self-discipline? It is to do what you have set your sights for. You want to top your class, it is your dream. Therefore, because it is your dream, you have to put in the effort to make sure it happens. And that's why I link discipline with self-love. If you love yourself, and I know everybody loves themselves, then you will do whatever is required to make your dream come true. So if somebody tells you, I can't lose weight because I don't have time, then I don't think they love themselves. Because if you love yourself and you want to lose weight and that's your goal, then whatever is required will be done. Whether you do it at night, you do it early morning, you stop eating, whatever. So discipline is equal to self-love. Now, I told you about public pledging to stop me from quitting. This was pressure from outside. But there will be times in your journey when you are low within. You feel low. You are not always at your 100%. So I use a technique called visualization. I used to start visualizing how it would feel when I complete the Ironman. Now that is a big motivator. I used to think, I'll run down that red carpet and that man will shout my name, Vikram, you're an Iron Man. And that would get me going again. Dream big, I already told you. You must dream big, but remember, be prepared to fail. Compete only with yourself. Don't compete with people around you. Everybody around you has their own dream. They have their own circumstances. They have their own timelines. They may be able to devote more time, more energy to do whatever you may also be doing. Your timelines may be different. So the moment you start competing, you will upset your own time plan. I have seen top athletes having a heart attack and fail and dying while doing the swim because they were not following their own timeline. They started competing with somebody else who was much faster. Self-belief. Believe in yourself. Have the self-confidence, because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. And last, but not the least, age is only a number. It's never too late and never too early. With that, I have come to the end of my talk. There are no times I was told out here for questions, but if you have any questions, you can inbox me on my Instagram handle, which is shown in front of you. And with that, I want to wish each one of you all the best. I'm stopping to share my screen now, and may you have success and your dreams come true. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was practical, achievable, and so very inspiring. Your dream is something that will never let you sleep. I think that really resonated with us. And what do you do to achieve your dreams? All the practical things that you said, and not giving up on your dreams, and not being afraid of failure. I think these are very practical advices, and I want to go a long way in motivating our students. Thank you very much. Nothing could have set the tone better than this for the occasion today. So thank you, sir. Students, in case of questions, sir has already shared his Instagram handle with you. Ms. Pareen has also shared the YouTube link where you'll be able to see more motivating videos, and again, the Instagram ID. So please get in touch with sir as and when you want to. Moving ahead from here, you will agree with me when I say that the power of words in lifting spirits and in inducing inspiration, we experienced that while listening to our distinguished chief guest just now. Continuing in the same spirit and accompanied by some elevating musical notes, we now have a special performance by Mr. Robert Mukandan, our music teacher. Over to you, Robert, sir.
Thank you so much, Tasneem ma'am. Thank you so much, Vikram sir. That was really, really inspiring. And I'm sure all of us, the students, teachers, really loved your speech, and the video was brilliant. And thank you for all of that. So with this tone, I'm gonna be singing a song that's called "You Raise Me Up" by Westlife. I mean, your speech really motivated me, and I hope I can put much more motivation, much more meaning into this song. And yep, here it is. I'm going to share the words with you all in the chat box. And if you know the song, please do sing with me. But remember, please keep yourselves on mute. There you go. All right. So, yeah, let's begin. Down and oh my soul so weak. When troubles come and my heart burden me, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and say a word with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. Life without explain. Each first heart beats so imperfectly, and then you come, and I am filled with wonder. Sometimes I glimpse eternity. Raise me up so I can stand on mountains. Raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. Raise me up to more than I can. Raise me up so I can stand on mountains. Raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulder. Raise me up to more than I. Raise me up to more than I. More than I can be. Thank you so much. Over to you, Tasneem ma'am.
Thank you, Robert, sir. Beautiful music accompanied by beautiful words and the amazing voice that you have. What more can one ask for, right? Thank you, Robert, sir. Those were also some very powerful lyrics. And yes, we all have someone in our life, be it our parents, our siblings, our teachers, or even our friends, who lift us up and push us to go there and face the world and remind us what we are capable of. And I hope we are that person for someone else in our life too. Thank you once again, Robert, sir. That was really, really moving. Moving on in our program today, all these years, students and parents, the investiture ceremony always began with an impressive procession of the school council to set the tone for the decorum and gravity of the investiture. It began with our have-been council members marching down the aisle, all set to pass on the light of their experience and responsibility to the new council members. And although in keeping with the times, we are observing the ceremony online, it is only fitting to meet our school student body council for the last academic year before we hand over the reins to the new leaders. I request Ms. Vidika to now share the presentation of the old council with us. That was wonderful. And now it is time for the momentous event for which we have gathered here today. The school core committee will now be introducing the school student body council for the academic year 2020-21. Over to you, Akshay sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Master Arya Joshi, you have been elected as the school head boy.
Our head boy is an extremely creative student who displays an inquisitive desire to learn. This is displayed in his achievement of academic excellence. He is also a great thinker and a versatile student with a keen interest in all co-curricular activities, with a special bent towards theatre.
Miss Ritika Bhalekar, you have been elected as the school head girl.
Our newly elected head girl is a hard-working, diligent, and an all-round student. She takes keen interest in various art forms like dance as well as sports. She is respectful towards all her teachers and students and showcases her values for school, family, and her peers.
Master Deep Bhalekar, you have been elected as the sports captain.
Our sports captain is a curious thinker with a tremendous spirit of sportsmanship and love for it.
Master Swarna Joshi, you have been elected as an Shamrock House captain.
Our Shamrock House captain is a very friendly and cooperative person, an enthusiastic member of the class who shows appreciation for the efforts of his classmates. He is a blue belt in Taekwondo. He won a bronze medal at national level and a gold medal in district level in India and Norway. At present, he is pursuing graduation in classical music.
Miss Avni Mishra, you have been elected as Shamrock House vice captain.
Our Shamrock House vice captain works with dedication and believes in delivering her best on every occasion. She loves to dance, sing, make friends, and has a passion for perfection. She aspires to be a social activist.
Master Aryan Sheikh, you have been elected as the Olive House captain.
Our Olive House captain is a self-motivated, passionate learner with the potential of breathing life into his aspirations. He is courteous, insightful, and has excellent presentation skills. He is an enthusiastic member of the class and exhibits responsible behavior to accomplish the task in hand.
Master Rakshan Prem, you have been elected as an Olive House vice captain.
Olive House vice captain is a passionate guitarist. He endears everyone with his sweetness and innocence, but at the same time possesses rock-solid determination to excel in every walk of life. His exceptional oratory skills have earned the respect of one and all.
Master David Dudwala, you have been elected as the Laurel House captain.
Our Laurel House captain takes keen interest in the sciences and loves experimenting on different scientific topics. He's an extrovert who enjoys public speaking and has participated in quite a few Model United Nations events and is always up for a good debate. In addition to this, he takes keen interest in robotics as a field and has presented multiple projects on platforms such as Technocean, which is one of the world's biggest robotics platform. He has also been the captain of our football team and plays as a goalkeeper in school. Dhavid believes that no matter how much you fall, you will rise higher than before.
Master Niket Shah, you have been elected as the Laurel House vice captain.
Niket is a multifaceted personality who believes that success is the sum of all the small efforts repeated day in and day out. He's a proud winner of the President's Education Awards program for outstanding academic excellence while he was pursuing his education in the US. He has a red belt in Taekwondo, has passed his grade 2 music theory with distinction from the Associated Board of the Royal School of Music, and is currently learning coding and app development. Multifaceted indeed.
Master Aryan Desai, you have been elected as the Maple House captain.
Our Maple House captain is confident, insightful, and is appreciative of different perspectives and experiences. He has a well-developed sense of humor, which has made him popular among his peers. He is a keen learner and a master in self-management skills, which makes him a complete all-rounder, ready to take on his new responsibility as the Maple House captain.
Master Abhishek Vengurlikar, you have been elected as the vice captain of Maple House.
Our Maple House vice captain is polite and generous by nature. He is respectful and mindfully chooses his word that has led him to developing friendly equation with his peers. He motivates his peers in times of distress. He is always ready for a class discussion or a debate. He is an enthusiastic student, ready to learn innovative things and put his knowledge to practice.
Thank you, Akshay sir. I now request the proud parents of our dutiful student council body to present the badge and the sash to their wards in the order in which their names are announced. In case of some of our council members, a pre-recorded video will be shared with us today due to some unfavorable circumstances or technical limitations. To begin with, I request the parents of Master Arya Joshi, our newly elected head boy, to honor him with the sash and the badge. Thank you, parents. Congratulations, Arya. Next, I request Ms. Vidika to play the video of our newly elected head girl, Ms. Ritika Bhalekar, being honored by her older sibling. Congratulations, Ritika. I now request Ms. Vidika to play the video shared by Master Deep Bhalekar, our newly elected sports captain, being honored by his older sibling. Thank you, Ms. Vidika. Many congratulations, Deep. We now move on to our house captains and house vice captains with the intention of creating a greater sense of belongingness and responsibility, along with the desire to nurture healthy competition amongst us. We are divided into 4 houses: Shamrock, Maple, Olive, and Laurel. These are named after leaves of strong, vibrant, and young trees in nature. Just as Mother Nature gives us deep and humbling messages which are pure and refreshingly simple, our school mission is to provide an inspiring ambience where young minds can be groomed to build a harmonious world and reach the heights of excellence ingrained with ethical values. I now request the parents of Master Swarna Joshi, our newly elected Shamrock House captain, to honor him with the sash and the badge. Shamrock's motto is believe, achieve, succeed. Congratulations, Swarna. Next, I request the parents of Ms. Avni Mishra, our newly elected Shamrock House Vice Captain, to honor her with the sash and the badge. Congratulations, Avni. I now request the parents of Master Aryan Sheth, our newly elected Olive House captain, to honor him with the sash and the badge. Victorious we emerge is the motto of Olive House. Congratulations, Aryan. I now request the parents of Master Rakshant Prem Kumar, our newly elected Olive House Vice Captain, to honor him with the sash and the badge. Congratulations, Rakshant. I now request Ms. Vedika to play the pre-recorded video of Master Dhavit Dudhwala, our newly elected Laurel House captain, being presented with the sash and the badge, Laurel's motto being, "Achievers have no finish line." Thank you, Ms. Vedika. Congratulations, Dhavit. Now, I request the parents of Master Niket Shah, our newly elected Laurel House Vice Captain, to honor him with the sash and the badge.
Is it coming?
Congratulations, Niket. Next, I request the parents of Master Aryan Desai, our newly elected Maple House captain, to honor him with the sash and the badge. The Maple House motto stands for Awakening Creative Energy. Congratulations, Aryan. And now I request the parent of Master Abhishek Vengurlekar, our newly elected Maple House Vice Captain to present him with the sash and the badge. Many congratulations, Abhishek. Thank you, parents. Thank you, council. I would now like to invite Joy ma'am for the oath-taking ceremony.
Council members, you have been honored with an office full of duties and responsibilities. The council must be exemplary in conduct and application, cheerful, sociable, with initiatives and leadership. It is your duty to bring to the notice of the authorities reasonable suggestions of your companions, thus always standing by the principal's decisions. You will be expected to be faithful to your fellow students, respectful to your teachers, and above all, loyal to your school. Do you accept the office of the school council with its duties and responsibilities?
Yes, we do.
You may now take the oath.
I, Dr. Arya Joshi,
I, Ms. Ritika Bhalekar,
accept the school council
with its duties and responsibilities,
and promise loyalty to the school
and to my companions.
I now present to you the Student Council body for the academic year 2020-2021.
Thank you, students. Thank you, ma'am. Many congratulations, students. I now invite Mr. Akshay Wadekar, a physical education teacher, to address the newly elected council.
Thank you, ma'am. I extend my congratulations to the newly elected Student Council body. I am certain that you will fulfill your duties and responsibilities diligently and serve as an advocate for the student body and function effectively in the team environment. I would like to remind you that your role is one of the great significance in the smooth functioning of school. We expect nothing but the best from your with the respect to your participation and leadership in the area of academics, extracurricular activities, community service, school spirit, school events, and student teacher relation. I trust that you will lead by example and strive to promote the friendship and respect among your peers, enhance communication between students, management, and staff members, and work towards the overall well-being of the school. Thank you.
Thank you, Akshay sir. I'm sure they'll do that. And now we move on to the team that's going to keep us updated with all the events and happenings in the school by the virtue of the online newsletter, Footprints, a team that is synonymous with integrity, accuracy, and industriousness, our editorial team for the year 2020-21. I would once again like to invite members of our school core committee to introduce them to you now. Over to you, Vaishali ma'am.
Vrishang, our chief editor, is an enthusiastic learner with a diverse interests and achievements. He is a rank holder in various competitions with an outstanding performance in essays and Olympiad examination. He also has a passion for photography, swimming, cooking, and playing chess. His inquisitive nature is complemented with a deep sense of curiosity, which makes him most suitable for this post.
Divit Tasgaonkar is one who loves to learn new and challenging concepts. Honesty, appreciation, respect, and love for all are the fundamental pillars of his ideology. He appreciates the suggestions and ideas of others and is determined to improve in every aspect. He likes to set small goals to accomplish his big goals. Music and sports are an essential part of him, as he enjoys playing guitar, football, pool, and gaming.
Reporter Master Maulik Sinha. Maulik is a confident, friendly, and a balanced child. His resilient and empathetic attitude has made him a popular member of his class. His imaginative and creative writing skills will be an asset to an editorial team. Reporter Dhwani Surya. Dhwani is a diligent and obedient student. She has a good command over her language and shows keen interest in reading and writing. Her creative writing skills will be a great help to the editorial team.
Our reporter, Kavya Mehta, is a very hardworking student who always goes one step ahead to acquire knowledge. She's confident, positive, and a great role model for her classmates. Whether it's Olympiads, science quiz, art competition, annual sports meet, singing competition, spelling bee, or performing arts, she has always won laurels for her school.
Reporter Rudra Desai is a very diligent and hardworking child. He has topped many Olympiad exams and is a record holder in Clash of Pi competition. He is an all-rounder with a loving and caring nature.
A big thank you to all the members of our core committee for that introduction. I now request the parents of our enterprising editorial board to honor them with a badge in the order in which their names are announced. We'll begin with our chief editor, Master Vrishang Jamayar, who will be honored with the badge by his grandfather. Congratulations, Vishank. Unfortunately, it would not be possible to present the badge to our editor, Master Divit Tasgaonkar, today due to some technical difficulties. However, he will be sharing the recording with us soon, students, and we would share it with all of you then. Nevertheless, many congratulations to you, Divit. Next, I request the parents of Master Maulik Sinha, our reporter, to honor him with a badge. Congratulations, Maulik. Next, I request the parents of Ms. Dhwani Furia, our reporter, to honor her with the badge.
Front আছে তো মুজো
Yes, we can see you very clearly now. Congratulations, Dhwani. We'll wait for you, that's fine. Thank you. I now request the parents of Ms. Kavya Mehta, our reporter, to honor her with the badge. Congratulations, Kavya. And now I request the parents of Master Rudra Desai, our reporter, to honor him with the badge. Thank you, Rudra. With that, we come to the end of our investiture ceremony. I would like to congratulate all the members of the school council as well as the editorial board for the year 2020-21 once again. Heartiest congratulations. I now request everyone to rise for the school anthem. I request you to remain standing for the national anthem. Thank you, everyone. You may now be seated. I would now like to invite our academic supervisor, Ms. Hina Kaleja, and our secondary coordinator, Ms. Vaishali Gandhi, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Ms. Tasneem. And with this, we come to the end of our virtual investiture ceremony. We would like to thank the backbone of our school, Mrs. Varsha Singh and Mrs. Karishma Mangal, for always supporting us in all our endeavors. Our guest of honor, Mr. Vikram Dev Dogra, who took time out of his busy schedule to be here with us. A special thanks to our principal, Dr. Shunila Joy Chauhan, for her constant support and guidance.
We would also like to thank Ms. Nishta Hinduja and her associates for all the support. Our heartfelt thanks to our dear parents for being here today and making the virtual investiture ceremony a grand success. I would also like to thank all our dear teachers for being a part of this special event. Once again, thank you all. And now I would like to request all our parents and students to kindly log out.